Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be bringing on one of my incredible special clients, Kathryn, who is inside of the academy. Man, oh man, she is such a special lady who has come so far in her journey. She started off, she did one of my challenges. She jumped right into some private coaching with me. She then joined the membership for only, I think, like not even a month. And she was like, I meant to be in the academy. But as you're going to hear her talk, she didn't 100% feel ready. She didn't know if she was ready for the academy, the highest level of support to really go all in. But she felt this pull, this calling in her heart that said, you're meant to be in that space. You care so deeply about your health. You're ready to conquer. You want to do things sustainably. Like you're meant to be in that space. And she listened to her intuition, even though no, it was her intuition at the time. And she committed and she went all in with the academy. And you're going to hear her talk about her ice cream story where she came to me and ice cream was like the biggest trigger food. She would always be emotionally eating on ice cream. And the work that we've done together, she honestly doesn't even want ice cream. Not that she can't have it, it's just there's no pull, there's no urge, there's no desire to emotionally eat on it because she's made peace with ice cream. She's more patient, more present with her children. She has a better relationship with her husband where she's easily able to communicate her feelings, her needs. She can speak up for herself. And that's really, really huge. The work that we do inside of my programs, the academy, this is not just about healing your relationship with food. This is about you becoming this badass, you improving every single area of your life, you being the most present mom, you having the best relationship, you feeling calm, grounded, food feeling effortless. She says, like, honestly, I don't know how else to describe it, but food just feels easy and effortless. And she did not think that she would get to this point. I want to stress this. She didn't know that she would never emotionally eat on ice cream. She didn't know that she would be more patient with her children. She didn't know that she would feel like food honestly feels really easy. She didn't know that. But she felt that pull in her heart. She's like, I'm meant to do this. Like, I'm meant for a better life for myself, for my family. My health is a top priority. It's the most important thing, which is why she went all in. She got the highest level of support and mentorship. She committed long term. She did this for herself and her family. And you don't have to know what the journey is going to look like. You don't even have to feel 100% ready. She didn't feel 100% ready when she committed to this journey, but she took one step forward. And because she took one step forward, she got the results that she was looking for. She started feeling less impulsive. Ice cream was taken off of a pedestal. Food was starting to feel a lot more effortless. She was processing her emotions. That created the evidence of like, wow, I can do this. And she kept doing that. She kept taking courageous action, getting the results, and actually believing it was possible. It's not the opposite way around. It's not, I need to believe 100% in myself and then I'm going to take action. She didn't feel 100% ready, but she said yes, anyways. And because she said yes, she put in the work, she got the results, she proved to herself that food gets to feel effortless, that ice cream no longer needs to be a trigger food. And that makes her so excited to keep this journey going. She's come so far with her relationship with food that now we're working on, her gut health, her energy, her hormones. She's able to pull on more gentle nutrition without feeling restricted. We're really working through that now. And so this is just a true testament to going all in, feeling that pull in your heart, trusting yourself, trusting your journey. If this is a top priority for you, you will be that badass who feels incredible in your own skin. Food feels easy. She literally says, I don't know how else to describe it, but food just feels easy and effortless. Ice cream is not a trigger food anymore. She's not emotionally eating on it. She can communicate better with her partner. Every area of her life is improved, and every area of your life will improve when you choose to do things sustainably. when you get the support that you know that you're meant to get. And so I am so excited for you to listen to Kathryn's journey. She is someone who is just always committed. It's always a top priority for her. And she's trusted the process the entire step of the way. And we're really just getting started, even though we work together. It's like, there's always levels to this. Even when things are going well for her, she's like, what's the next step for me? When her relationship with food is getting better, it's like, how can I work on gentle nutrition? How can I work on my health? How can I do it in a way without feeling deprived? So there's always new levels, there's always next steps. And, I've been through this entire journey. I will be the mentor that will support you through it all. So I'm so excited for you to listen to this episode with my incredible Academy client, Kathryn. And you're going to get so many golden nuggets from this. Kathryn is just a really special human. We do some private work together as well as the Academy. And it's just an honor to coach someone who is so coachable, who's so open, who is so eager to learn, who wants to become the greatest version of herself, the greatest mom, the greatest partner, the greatest person. And, the fact that she just said, like, I had a moment where I just felt like I'm good enough. And she really felt that in her body. Like, to me, that's everything. So I'm so excited. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the incredible Kathryn. Hello, hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. I was expecting a pink shirt from you.
Oh, it's a blue
I,
dress today.
I love it. I love it.
I
Um,
do wear a lot of pink.
yes, yes. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for coming on. And man, I feel like we've just lived like a lifetime together in our coaching together. I was actually thinking back. I was like, I think the first thing you did with me was the 5 day like rewire your brain, some challenge. And you got like a VIP upgrade where we did one coaching call together. And I
Yes,
remember you didn't just ask one question. I'm pretty sure you asked two.
I
And I'm
did.
like, there's something about this Kathryn. Like, I just felt like there was something about you where I was like, she seems very committed. She seems very like just committed to this journey. And I don't think you felt that way. I remember even, after doing some private coaching with me and joining the membership, you were like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. So I actually wanted to start there because I think for a lot of people, they think, I need to believe in myself 100%. And I need to know that I'm 100% ready. And I need to trust the process. And I need to believe in myself. Like, I need to really, really believe in myself. But you don't have to have 100% believe or like know how this journey is going to unfold before you actually, dive in. So let's talk about that. When you first even joined the membership, obviously now you're in the academy, but when you first joined the membership, there was a lot of thoughts of like, you come on saying to me like, am I ready for this? I love to kind of pick your mind with that. Like, what was your thought process about that?
Um, yeah, I didn't feel ready. But if I'm being honest with you, Lorna, I really think it was you, and there was something about you that pulled me in, and it was very scary, and there was a lot of fear there, but deep down, I knew that it was right, even though, like, I told myself I wasn't ready. So I think really for me, it was trusting that little voice inside of me that knew that this was right for me and it was the right path. And I trusted that. Um, but there still was a lot of in that headspace of like, am I ready? Is this, you know, I think also for me, it was a lot of questioning like how much support I felt like I needed, but like I was in the membership for like a month and then I jumped right into the academy. So I think for me, it was really trusting my intuition, even though at that time I didn't really know what intuition was, but it was trusting that little voice inside of me that knew like deep down when I was still in quiet that this was right for me and the right path, even though there was fear there.
Hmm. And what made you want to skyrocket right into the academy? Because, as someone who is like, holy shit, this is scary joining the membership, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I'm going to join the academy and, go all in on myself. What made you want the highest level of support? Like, what made you want that personalized mentorship and coaching?
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, this isn't my first rodeo, so to speak. I've worked with coaches before, one-on-one and in group setting, and I knew that was this was right for me. I knew that it was my path, and I mean, my vision is getting clearer the more I do this work, but there still was a vision there from the beginning, and I think I'm going to say the same answer again because it's like it's you, Lorna. I did that 1 month of Telegram support one-on-one, like after that 5 day challenge, and I think that um, really boosted my commitment to this work and this process. And yeah, I wanted to go all in because I knew. Like, I guess I didn't know you super well at that point, but I got enough of you to know that like you're gonna take me where I want to go.
Hmm. That's huge. And for someone who didn't really like tap into your intuition or didn't really know what that was, like that was your intuition right there. And the fact that you just like trusted that feeling is so huge because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't think I'm ready. Or like, I don't know what it's gonna look like, so I'm not gonna do it. And you just did it anyways, which is incredible. So I want to go back. You mentioned that you've hired mentors and coaches and you had support before. And what drew you to like the badass community, like rewiring your brain? Like, what drew you to actually doing this work inside the academy, like actually rewiring your brain, conquering binge eating, doing things sustainably? Like, what was different that we did inside of this program, or what really drew you to this work?
Uh-huh. Well, before I found you, I was working with a nutritionist and um, something you said to me at the very beginning of our time together was there was a right order of doing things, and I knew that um, my health was very important to me and I was trying to like improve my health, but I was doing it the wrong way. You know, I was restricting, I was dieting, I was measuring out everything. And I knew like deep down that didn't feel right for me. And yeah, sure, I did get some results, but I was also like binging on ice cream like crazy. So I knew that I, I knew I needed to go back and like heal my relationship to food. Um, and that was like the starting point of I, it was the starting point of like I mean a little bit before, but just Lorna, your work is so it's transformational. Like I am not the same person I was a year ago. And sure, we change, but there's just been massive growth and yeah, I think it really is that I wanted to do this sustainably and I knew that this was the right way and I needed to heal my relationship with food. I needed to do the inner work to heal like parts of me that I I needed to let go of those limiting beliefs and those old stories to find like my true me.
Mm, yes, yes. And let's dive into that because you are not the same person. Like I'm like, even a month ago, like I know you had that, you messaged me and you're like, I feel really different.
Mhm.
And again, it's not one thing we did together. It's not one training. It's not one audio message. It's the accumulation of you putting in the work long term, going all in, highest level of support long term, committing to this process and really going all in that has helped you get to this point. So what are some of the breakthrough moments that you've had throughout this journey? Let's start off with, we'll do the food first, like just in terms of, your relationship with food, and then we'll dive into other areas as well too.
Okay. Oh,
Where do
well,
we begin?
yeah. Um, my biggest breakthroughs. I know you said that we would start. Okay, I'll start with food. Um, I mean, honestly, I didn't think I would get here. Um, but you're right. Like I have put in the work and I am 100% committed and I showed up powerfully for myself and that is why I'm here. So I guess I do like I get to acknowledge myself for that. I think for me, I don't know, this feels hard to explain, I guess, but it's making peace with food and that food is just food and I don't have to put all this meaning and like the behaviors that I engaged in were a lot of emotional eating. And I feel so grounded in myself and my emotions, and I don't need to turn to food anymore. So that was a huge breakthrough for me because my emotions and learning how to process them, it's been a long journey for me. So I think that that's really been my biggest breakthrough. And it not being anxious around food and it not stressing me out and to be able to eat what I want to eat without judgment. It's almost like I feel like I just want to like let out a deep breath or a sigh. It's easy. I mean, I still have work to do and struggles pop up here and there, but the word that really is coming up is it's easy. It's natural. It's normalized. It's how I do things now.
And let's even like talk about the ice cream because it's like I
Ugh.
I'll let you speak on that, but it's like I remember when you first came, it was like ice cream, ice cream. Like, how do I control myself around ice cream? And then you would send me messages like, I just don't want ice cream, but like I want it. Like it feels so weird. Like, let's even talk about taking foods off of a pedestal.
Uh-huh. I'm going to share a little story is last night I wanted something sweet and I did like I opened the freezer and I looked at the ice cream, but I just don't want it. And that is I didn't expect that to, not that I didn't expect it to happen, but like ice cream, I was crazy with it. And yes, it's been this whole journey from the beginning. And now I'm at the point where it's totally off the pedestal. I don't even really like the way it tastes. I don't even really want it. So last night, yeah, I did like I looked at it, but I'm like, no. And so what I was truly craving was frozen pineapple. And I thought in my head, like, who is this girl that's saying no to ice cream, which was, yeah, such a big part of my journey and now wants frozen pineapple.
Talk about intuition
Yeah.
coming full circle. It's like, wait, what is my intuition? And now you're like, actually, my body, my intuition is saying, I don't want ice cream. I want frozen pineapple, which is so huge. And it's like, it just becomes normal. It's not that you can't have ice cream. You're just like, it doesn't have that same pull that it
Mhm.
used to have before. And what do you think allowed you to get to that point? Because I think there's so many people that are listening that are like, man, I'd want to do that with ice cream or cookies or chocolate. Like, what really supported you in getting to this point where it really is just ice cream? Like, it's just food. It's just easy. What helped you get to that point?
You, Lorna, uh, um, well, I think for me, a lot of it was releasing the shame and guilt around the emotional eating piece, and not judging myself when I did have it. Um, I guess, I mean, it feels kind of textbook. You allow yourself to have the trigger foods and you overeat them and you binge on them. And then you get in your head like I did, and you want to want it, but you don't really want it. And then that weirds you out, and you get coaching on that. And you just continue to honor your craving and allow yourself to have it. And you do get to the point where you don't overeat it. You're like satisfied with this one small little ramekin of ice cream. And then you get to a point when like my frozen pineapple example, you just don't want it. And I do feel like how I see food and how I see my health and how I want to show up for myself. And not that ice cream is bad, but you know, it's important to me of what I fuel my body with. And um, I think that also really supported my journey, especially more towards the end when I had already healed my relationship with ice cream. And but it's bizarre, like at the beginning of this journey, people think like ice cream, like, oh my gosh, I never think I would never get to that point where I actually don't want it, but you do.
Hmm.
And I have to acknowledge you, Lorna, because I wouldn't be able to do that without your support and your coaching, uh, and it feels impossible, but you do get there.
Hmm. And it's easy to think like, oh, well, that person can, or I can do it with chocolate, but not ice cream, or I can do it with this, but not this food until you actually just do it. And as much as you say, like, oh, it's all me, it's like you had the bravery though, because how many times have you had the thought of like, this feels scary, or I'm judging myself? You could have just continued judging yourself. You could have not leaned into the fear. You could have been like, no, like this feels wrong, this feels scary, and not actually put in the work, and you wouldn't have gotten to this other side. So it does require courage, bravery, trusting yourself, trusting the process. I think I always look at you, Kathryn, and I'm like, even if you didn't know what the full journey would look like, you've always just had some level of trust of like, I just trust that this is the right path for me. And I think that's been a huge reason why also you were willing to do what I shared and implement the tools that I was sharing because you trusted the process. And that's a huge aspect of taking foods off of a pedestal as well, too.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So now that we got the ice cream out of the way, I think a lot of people think I'm gonna join a program to heal my relationship with food so I can take ice cream off of a pedestal and I can, stop when I'm full. But the coaching that we've done together has gone way beyond food. It's been about communication with your partner, being vulnerable, trusting yourself, listening to your intuition, working on your health, like gut health and other areas that we're now working on because you put in the work to heal your relationship with food. So let's dive into that piece next. What other areas of your life have improved since doing this work to heal your relationship with food?
Everything, all areas. Um, I touched on this before, but the big one for me is owning who I am and owning my worth. And I am freaking enough. That was my story for my whole life is I'm not enough. And this work is honestly, Lorna, it's what got me to that place where I can own those parts of me, and own that I am enough. That was huge, 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 huge. And definitely a deeper level of trust in myself. And that's allowed me to be more vulnerable in our community and in like in the academy. It's also really allowed me to be more vulnerable with my husband and to be able to be open and raw and honest and truly like speak my heart and speak my whole truth. And I already can see a shift in our relationship because of that. So that's been really massive as well. And this has kind of been a recent breakthrough moment for me. But I think that this work even is changing how I see myself as a mother and my relationship with my kids. And I just had this most beautiful, ordinary day with my youngest, but it was magic. It really was magic. So it's just, it's beautiful. And it really is all because of this work. And like you said, it's not, it goes like 1,000 layers deeper.
Can you share that story? Because when we don't have to go into like too much detail, but I think what's so important about this work is being present,
Mhm.
living your life, being there with your family, being there with your children. And it could be an ordinary Tuesday or an ordinary Monday, and you choose to make it magical. You choose to be present and be the mom that you want to be. So, can you like share about that? Because I think, man, more people want to be present. More people want to experience more joy, have fun, like be like a little child again. And I feel like you really got to experience that.
Mhm. I did feel like a little child again. Uh, we were driving to Costco, and my youngest she'll be 4 in September, and she started singing the song Slippery Fish. I don't know if you know it, but it's like
No,
slippery
not
fish.
yet. Not yet.
Yeah, you will. You'll learn it. You'll learn all those toddler songs. But she was very cute because she would like sing it at the top of her lungs, and then she said, "Do you know that song?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so we were both singing and like dancing in the car. And then at Costco, I let her be out of the cart, and that's really hard for me to do. But I said, you know what? Like, I'm a badass. I can do this. And we just had the time of our lives in Costco. And I felt so like deeply connected to her. And yeah, we were both, I mean, she was just so happy to be out of the cart. And she was so like just in her own little world and joy. And that really brought me in my joy. So yes, it really is all about presence and being in the moment and yeah, creating those magical moments. And they absolutely can be in those ordinary times at Costco with your 3-year-olds.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have happened though if you were in your head trying to control everything, like believe like, oh, I can't do it, it's too hard. But instead you're like, I'm a freaking badass. Let me let loose. Let me just have fun. And you're not just changing your life, it's like you're changing your kid's life. Like her being able to have that experience of like, I'm just singing at the top of my lungs and having fun, like she'll remember that. And that's so huge. And something I've also noticed along the journey is you're really grounded.
Mm,
And I know that we've kind of worked through this, but again, I'll never forget. Like, I just have this vision of like Kathryn by the fireplace. Like, I just like have that vision of you just like really connecting to yourself, feeling grounded, and having that time for yourself. And I'd love for you to share what's helped you connect more with yourself and just like be more grounded and present and connected to yourself.
mhm. Well, I do think that that's always been a part of me. Um, I really do enjoy my alone time, but I don't know exactly. Probably it's getting out of my head, and like into my body. And honestly, I think the answer is breath work. That was my first. I've been interested in it for a while, and we did some one-on-one breath work and we also get to do it in the academy. And I think that that was super supportive. And it really taught me how to be in my body and also allow myself to just be in the feels.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I think really it is the breath work is really what taught me to be in my body, how to get back connected to my body and get connected to like really my higher self, I guess is a
Yeah.
way to say it. And yeah, I think the answer is it's really breath work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, when we live in our head, we're overthinking, we're doubting ourselves, we're comparing ourselves, and it's like you take a few moments to breathe, and it's like you actually connect with your higher self, you feel the real you connect to your intuition, which it's again, it's all related, and you get a feel. And when you get a feel, you don't need to turn to food. And something that we have been working on together was the emotional eating.
Mhm.
And you've had many moments where, because you're more intuitive now, you're more grounded, you're like, I actually recognize I don't need food, I need me time in the evening, or I need to just go to bed, I need to take my hot shower. And when you are more connected, you don't need to turn to food and self-soothe with that,
Right. Yep.
which is huge. What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to think. I'm like, this journey has just been so beautiful. And I see you as like just being the top. It's like obviously you're in the academy, you join the mastermind. Like I just always see you as someone who is really committed to this journey. And I remember you sent me that message and you said, like, I feel like I just started being like all in. Do you remember when you said that?
Yes.
But it's like I've seen you go all in, like from the beginning, from the start. And I want to talk about that message that you said of like, I feel really different. Can you explain that feeling? How are you feeling? You're like, I just feel like I'm such a different person. Like, what's this different person? Like, who is she?
Well, this has been kind of a recent breakthrough for me, so I do feel like it's so hard for me to articulate. And your coaching to me was, I think that I was trying to find this like one moment when like everything changed. And it's not like it is the accumulation of the whole journey. Um, I know that you said like I have been all in, and I do acknowledge myself. I have 100% been all in. Um, but I think there's a deeper connection to that for me now, especially now that I talked before that I wanted to do this sustainably, and health was important to me. And that's why I started this whole journey. And now I'm at the point where I feel at peace and at ease with food. Yes, there are still things I need to work on and things pop up, but it's now that I can really focus on my health. Like you said, my gut health and my digestion and my fatigue. Um, Now I don't even like remember your question because I'm just rambling here. Uh, oh yeah. So I think that it's really is kind of the shift of more ownership of me and my health. And I'm just, I don't know. Like I said, it's really hard for me to articulate, but it's like there's this fire inside of me, and I'm so excited to keep moving forward with this journey. And it's the confidence, it's the
Yeah.
groundedness, it's the finding the joy in the little moments. Sometimes I do feel like I get into autopilot in life. I'm a mom to three young kids, and um, there is a deeper connection, I guess, to not go into autopilot and be more, yeah, in the moment and joyful. And I'm just, this feels weird for me to say, but I'm just going to say it that I'm damn proud of myself. And of course, I'm here and I'm super excited to keep going.
Yeah, that's exactly what I shared with you in our mentorship together. I'm like, everything that you have done has led to this point. And I think people are so quick to be like, if I do this one thing, then I better be changed for the rest of my life. And you might not see. You might not see. It's like things are working behind the scenes. You might not see, but it's the people that don't need the evidence to keep on going, then to one day have this breakthrough moment where it's like, I feel like a completely different person, but that's because you committed every single step of the way. You didn't need the evidence. It's like, I just continued showing up, using the tools, plugging into mentorship. And because you did, you had that breakthrough moment. And I want to acknowledge that for you. Which
Thank
is
you.
cute. You're welcome. So, the last thing that I'd love to just briefly talk about is because we've been really working on your relationship with food, now we are able to work through other areas. Obviously, we talked about communication, we've talked about, being vulnerable, improving your relationship, and gut health and digestion and hormones. And what is the next? I know we kind of talked about the vision, but like what is like that next thing for you? Like what are you most excited about in terms of, these other areas that now we get to work through because we have done the work to heal your relationship to food?
Hmm. Well, I think the biggest one for me is health. And we talked about that. And I think I'm also really excited to deepen my relationship with my husband. I already see how this work has impacted that, and I see our growth, and I'm really excited to keep leaning into the vulnerability and the communication and speaking not my truth, but his truth as well. And I'm really excited to see where it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Not that our relationship was rocky or anything, but I'm really excited about that. And I guess recently I've just seen a shift in myself with my relationship with my kids. And um, I mean, I even got a little teary like last night when my husband was like being crazy silly with the kids and they were laughing and I was cooking. And it's those moments that I'm most excited about.
Mm, wow. So beautiful. I can just like picture you and your cute little family. Like I just love it so much. Um, Well, I appreciate you coming on, and man, like I just see you like this light. I see you as like this powerhouse in our group. Like you're constantly wanting to be better. And even when things are good, you're like, how can I take things to the next level? And like, honestly, I love working with people like that because you don't have to be at like rock freaking bottom. It's like things are going well for you, but you're always looking to improve. Like you said, with your relationship, like things are going well. Let's make it even better. Your relationship with food, let's make it even better. Let's work on gut health, hormones. So it's just been an honor to support you. And is there any last minute things that you'd like to share, acknowledge?
Oh, Lorna. Um, well, I did get the opportunity to meet you in person because I went to the retreat, and I feel like I just want to like reach in the screen and give you a big hug. So, if anyone, I guess what I would like to end with is um, if anyone is listening and they have that like little nudge and they know that this is what they want to work on their relationship with food, like Lorna is your lady. That's all I have to say. So thank you so much for what you do. And I mean, I I feel like you need to call yourself something else. Like you need to be like a transformational coach because it's not just food. You help us go deeper. And yeah, what you teach us is stepping into our unstoppable badass. And so I want to make sure that I acknowledge you because we're all here where we are in your journey because of you and because of us. But
100%. And I know that we did that exercise on that call where you got to acknowledge yourself as well too, and just you reflecting back to yourself and seeing how far you've come and how important this has always been for you. Like your health has always been important for you, your relationship has always been important for you. Like you gotten here because you did the work, you got here because this has always been important for you, and you never just once gave up. And that's, it all adds up. So thank you for coming on and sharing your journey. And I'm so excited for everyone else to listen, because whether it's the ice cream, it's communication, it's being more present, like you're just going to give so many other women hope and a source of inspiration to be like, I can do that as well too. So I appreciate that.
yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Well, I will see you in all the places inside of our academy call tomorrow. Thank you for being here, and we'll chat soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.